You know what? I think PvP needs 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 a whole new revamp because PvP is just getting worse and worse by the day. Even with the new Rochambeau spells, even with the spells from Lemuria. Um, and what's worse is the the toxicity of certain players. Certain players seem to think just because certain players seem to think just because they're ranked, they have to act all they have to act all high and mighty. Yes, I said it. They they feel the need to act all high and mighty, and then too they blame they blame other players for their failures. And yes, they do that. They tend to blame other players for their own blame other they tend to blame other players. I mean for their own for their own failure for their own um for their own fail for their own for their own failures. Um, in other words, they tend to blame the players for the players failing. Um, but yeah, I mean this has gotten way out of this has gotten way out of control. These players seem to think just because they have a certain rank, they have a certain PvP rank, they can go around acting all high and mighty and just bully other players just because they're ranked and other players are not. I mean, why should it even matter? If yeah, I mean, why should it even matter if other players are ranked or not? Rank's not gonna matter once fifth age rolls around. Um, but yeah, rank's not gonna even matter once fifth age rolls around because everybody's gonna get. I mean, because everybody's going to have their rank reset. And yes, you heard right. Everybody's going to have their rank reset. But with that being said, um, PvP needs a whole uh, needs needs PvP needs some improvement because it just gets worse and worse by the day. In other words, PvP is bad. Even with the new Rochambeau spells, even with the new spells from Lemuria. Um, but yeah, PvP needs massive improvement. And it needs a whole new overhaul, or it needs to be renovated. It needs to be renovated somehow. Um, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say.